Adam Dalglish's murder investigation in a drugs case centres on Sally Jupp, an unmarried mother working as a home help for Eleanor Maxey. Eleanor is nursing her gravely ill husband. The Maxey son, Stephen, and daughter, Deborah, have quarrelled over his interest in Sally and his jilting of Catherine Bowers, a childhood friend. Deborah has had a proposal from Felix Hurst, but has delayed giving him an answer. Miss Liddell, warden of the hostel for unmarried mothers, where Sally had her baby, has died mysteriously.
And also we draw your attention to the jungle store where many prizes will be given and that's your all worthwhile for that. So you go on and spend money because don't forget, it's for a very good cause. Certainly you and will help your understanding be happy about it.
How are you doing? I've sold 3 books for already.
You always were one of nature's con men.
You mind, madam. This is a sacred raffle. God and his parishioners versus the Death Watch Beetle.
Have you seen Sally?
No?
She can't still be at the police station, surely.
No telling, could be. If the law in its wisdom has decided Miss Liddell didn't commit suicide after all.
But she did. Everyone knows.
Hold on. That's village rumour, remember? Well, must crack on. Yomp, yomp. I've set myself a target. 8 books to be sold by tea time. Well, that reminds me. You've got a deadline too, haven't you, darling?
I haven't forgotten, Felix, I promise.
That's a relief. Bye.
Gertrude raffle, stop me and buy one.
So what about a deadline? Oh, I don't think I'd better say. But I think I can guess. Lucky you. Do you think so? Oh, yes.
And while you're all listening, don't forget the many attractions and amusements you can go on to. Marvellous raffle prizes, you can bomb the pig, and you can throw wet sponges at the lady who loves it. That's why she's come along, she volunteers for it. Don't forget, pony rides, antique store, it's all there for your enjoyment.
did have a cheek, Sally.
I needed it, didn't I? Just to survive. Not with you and Auntie Doris.
Why wouldn't you say what you wanted?
I wasn't sure then. Now I am. Besides, I thought it would cheer me up to see you, Uncle Victor.
You bloody liar. What do you want?
My airfare.
Airfare?
To Venezuela.
Venezuela?
Excursion £850. Over 900 with Jimmy.
You running away or something?
Judge everyone by yourself, don't you? I've got nothing to hide.
That bloke who got killed when he was working.
Don't mind about that. Just let me have the money for my fare and you won't hear from me again.
Never. Not on your life, Sally.
Who is it?
It's all right, Miss Jupp. It's me, Felix Hurst. Forgive me interrupting, but I saw this gentleman lurking about the house and wondered if everything was all right.
He's my uncle. He brought me up.
Ah, just dropped by for a visit. Fine. I hope you won't take it amiss, but one can't be too careful these days, don't you agree?
Yes, quite, Governor.
Best to be security conscious, especially on a busy day like today, with all the world and his wife here.
He's okay, and so am I. Thank you.
Not at all. I'm delighted you can vouch for each other.
Snip. And you calling him governor, crawler.
Bit of politeness never hurt anyone. You should try it.
Anyway, I want the money by tonight so I can fly out Tuesday. I've made the reservation.
And I'm supposed to pay for all this? How am I going to do that?
You'll have the shop takings for the week. You'll be banking them Monday, right?
I bank on Fridays now.
You'll find a way, though, won't you? I mean, it'd kill Auntie Doris for a start if it came out. Just imagine.
And Sally Jupp was definitely the last person to see Miss Liddell alive.
As far as we know, if the post-mortem confirms that she died of an overdose of sleeping pills prescribed by our local Dr. Epps, it would be difficult to prove her death was anything but suicide.
But you have your doubts?
She seemed a capable woman, rather definite in her ideas. Hard to see her being driven over the edge. Done on impulse, maybe.
I'm surprised she didn't leave a note.
Agree. So are we. Suicides usually do. Anyway, in my view, we can assume that these financial problems preyed on Miss Liddell's mind. It seems to have been a case of creeping embezzlement, genteel criminality, where the criminal hardly believes what they're doing is a crime at all.
Poor woman.
Is there any possibility that Sally Jupp was blackmailing Miss Liddell? I mean, if there was, that sort of pressure could have driven her to suicide.
Possible. But Sally Jupp was very frank with us, or so she seemed. Your chief's got the transcript. Wouldn't you agree, Adam? Bring a truth, eh?
Candid, straight. I mean, she certainly hasn't been like that with us. Right, well, we've just got time to try our luck at the fete before we drive back to London. Thanks for keeping us posted. Our interest in Miss Liddell will have to continue until we've cleared up the religious killing. So if anything breaks.
Of course. Be in touch, if and when.
None of us are to blame. Least of all you, Eleanor. You couldn't have been more patient with Alice Liddell. No. She brought it on herself. Yes.
Well, I should have tried to talk to her after that last committee meeting.
It wouldn't have done any good.
Are you so sure?
Well, Alice Liddell was a woman who didn't want to be helped or advised. She was always stubborn.
Do you think so? I admired her for overcoming her natural timidity.
Well, we must just agree to differ.
In all these years, I knew so little about her. I know she had an aging mother. Did she have any other relations? Oh, I feel so guilty.
And I feel a certain compassion, of course. Inhuman not to. But thanks to you, Eleanor, we gave her a last chance to sort of sort things out and come up with an explanation. It was she herself who cancelled that meeting, you remember, at the last moment without even telling me or the auditors.
She must have been in a terrible state to have killed herself.
Maybe so, perhaps so, but that is not our fault. I repeat, not our fault. The police wondered why we didn't go to them straight away. Dick Daniels was of the same opinion. Did he say anything to you about it?
No, he let me do all the talking.
Yes, well, he's trained to do that, isn't he? Ah, some tea.
No, I have to go and see if Simon wants anything.
Strange, wasn't it, that young girl of yours from St. Mary's was the last person to see Alice Liddell alive. They gave her quite a grilling, I believe. Stephen was telling me. He seemed oddly put out. On her behalf, she felt that the police had a down on Sally.
Excuse me. Good Lord. What? It's that CID man from London.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Briscoe.
Hello? I'm not sure whether I ought to be pleased to see you again.
Oh, why not?
Presumably you're continuing your investigation here. I can't believe you're a committed church fadegoer.
No, I'm not. Could you tell us where we can find Miss Jupp, please?
But Stephen did ask her to help him with the pony rides. Perhaps she's there.
Well, look, thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, dear. Oh, damn. Well. Sometimes you can be almost too acute, Catherine. Poor old Felix. Should we shut up shop for tea?
Why didn't you tell me Stephen asked Sally to help him?
Tact. Thought you'd prefer not to know.
I see. Yes and no, no and yes.
Better bring the lid.
So we'll rush along to the bonus for pig, and the score stands at about 14 and is the highest score.
If you ask me, and I know you haven't, advice is hell, but anyway, I think you're well shot of Stephen.
What happened to sisterly loyalty all of a sudden? Stephen used to be so close, almost like twins.
Well, that's changed. Or rather, he has, and not for the better. I suppose he got his strain, overwork at the hospital, but I don't think so. He's ready to sacrifice anything to his career.
But I wouldn't hinder his career.
No, you'd be far too good for him, believe me. Stephen ain't what he used to be. He's becoming ruthless and pompous. A fatal combination.
No, Sally hasn't turned up yet. Why do you want to see her? Is it because of Miss Liddell? She's already given a statement to Superintendent Daniel.
Yes, I've read it, Dr. Maxey.
So what else is there to say? Or is it about that other nonsense in London?
You call murder nonsense?
Turn a phrase. Well, is it to do with Chadfleet and London? Do you see a connection? I suppose there might be.
Do you think Miss Jupp is in the house nursing your father?
You've really made it your business to find out all about us, haven't you? I really don't see how Sally can help you at all.
Yeah, of course you don't.
No, look, wait. I'll come with you.
Oh, that won't be necessary, sir. We can manage.
I will not have her harassed.
Well, she won't be. You just carry on with your pony rides.
You all right, then?
I don't care for the police these days, Sam. More and more, I find them less than perfect and often bloody arrogant like those two.
We all say that at your age, Steve. The stable lads we used to sing your song, and it don't take long, all coppers are bastards. Once you get on a bit and you don't feel quite so spry, you know, and you feel more brittle in the bone, folks start to appreciate a touch of law and order.
Thank you, Sam.
He's a bit overprotective, isn't he?
Yes, John.
Perhaps he fancies her.
Could be.
Ah,
2 new victims, or should I say willing martyrs to the church roof raffle. All in a good cause, gentlemen. 10 pence each. And give our good shepherd here the chance to be heard above the din of the little beasties gnawing the woodwork, eh?
I don't think we've met before.
No, we're from London, Chief Superintendent Dalglish. This is Inspector Massingham.
Concerning poor Miss Liddell?
At the moment, just enjoying your fate. Good afternoon, Mr. Hinks.
Good heavens. He knew my name.
That's not surprising, really. Automatic reflex with the law, registering info.
Yes. But he didn't know you, Mr. Hurst.
No, well, I don't have my name painted up outside the church porch, do I? Church roof raffle.
Go on, get a move on, Uncle.
And to think we always treated you like you was our own daughter, like Beryl. Never made no difference between you.
Like hell.
We had to bring you up. A lot of things we had to pay for out of our own pocket. I was entitled to what your parents left you. You was underage.
So you keep saying. Go on, or I'll be down the solicitors Tuesday instead of flying out, all right?
But how am I going to make up that money in cash?
How should I know? That's for you to work out, not me.
You've turned into a rough little cat.
And whose fault's that? Go on, get out.
you?
Yes, I'm looking for the toilet.
Really? They're in the garden, clearly signposted.
Oh, well, I must have missed them.
Which way did you come in?
Through the side door.
Well, you'd better go out through the front. This is a private house. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the fate. That way, please.
Yes, right. Sorry.
Oh, no. What have I done this time?
Shall we talk in your room?
Must we? I've just come down from there.
There's always at the police station.
Well, why not just here? I don't mind.
I do.
Can't be about Miss Liddell, can it? I mean, you're London police, aren't you?
Yes, we are. We read your statement to Superintendent Daniel. Now, in it you mentioned that you were threatened by 2 men.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what did they want?
Had I seen the man on the stairs?
Voludis' murderer?
Yeah. Well, I told him what I told you, the truth. No, I hadn't seen him, just heard his feet. Well, they didn't believe me. One of them shook me, it hurt.
Miss Jupp, you should have reported this.
Well, they warned me not to. More than my face was worth, they said.
I see, so that's why you didn't get in touch with us?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's understandable.
I was tempted to make up a description just to get rid of them. But I didn't. I stuck to the truth, like I have with you now.
Very sensible. Have you been worried by this? Been able to sleep?
No, I'm all right.
You haven't forgotten about Miss Graham, sir?
Oh, yes, thank you very much, John. Why didn't you tell us that you knew Ingrid Graham?
Ingrid Graham?
This one.
I don't know her.
She knows you.
And for our next trick?
Sir Reynold Price, if he's here.
She certainly sticks to her story, doesn't she?
Yes. Voludis may have just mentioned her to Ingrid, or Ingrid could have lied. The 2 men from London who threatened her. Is that part of the fantasies and half-truths that she seems to enjoy?
She's trying to appear clever.
Yes.
A bit juvenile. Well, I did believe her on one thing.
And that she didn't see who killed Voludis?
Yes.
Yesterday upon a stair, I met a man who wasn't there.
He wasn't there again today.
No, I couldn't see that anything was missing.
He was wearing gloves?
Yes, black leather gloves.
That's odd. Well, perhaps he did genuinely think the house was open to the public.
Oh, I doubt it.
Some people are incredibly thick, Mummy. Give yourself another 5 minutes, Catherine. Well, I thought I'd take a look round the rest of the fete, see what everybody else is doing. I won't be long. Right. Poor Catherine. She's still in love with Stephen. I keep trying to warn her.
Are you quite sure that Stephen...
Mummy, you've only got to see the way he treats her. He's so neutral with her.
Like you are with Felix?
I'm not neutral with Felix.
I do understand. I couldn't help noticing.
Good. So do I, now.
You've never ridden before, really?
Well, once, on holiday. A donkey, just on the beach.
I see. Well, I'm going to make it my business to teach you, all right?
You may not be here.
What do you mean?
What did I say?
I'm not having you leave. Never. Quite out of the question, sorry.
How are you going to stop me?
Simple. By marrying you.
You and me? Ridiculous.
No, I mean it.
Can't. I'm not good enough for you.
Oh, that's rubbish.
You're only joking, aren't you?
I thought I was, but I'm not.
Oh, dear.
It's that bad.
No. No, I just...
Well, what?
I made up my mind to go it alone. Well, sort of.
You don't like sudden changes of plan?
I don't know.
Sir Reynold, how long have you belonged to the club?
Oh, years. Been a member of the select for a couple of years.
Yes, but how many?
I've forgotten. I'd say 15.
Miss Malpass says you often called in there.
She's quite right. I'm frequently up in the city. I'm on so many boards.
Did you know Mr. Voludis?
Stavros. Quite a charmer, wasn't he? Yes, of course, yes. He used to pack up the orders, didn't he, down in the basement?
Did you know Miss Jupp when she worked there?
Certainly. Charming. Pretty girl like that you couldn't miss. As a matter of fact, I was responsible for getting her into St. Mary's. Poor Alice Liddell. Has Dick Daniel brought you in to help on that case, too?
When it's a straightforward suicide?
Nothing is ever straightforward with you fellows. Daniel's questioned a lot of people out here.
Why did you help, Miss Jupp?
Oh, the milk of human kindness, old fellow. Well, you know, sheer altruism. There she was, up the spout, as we used to say, and nobody to help her. Oh, by the by, I did not, but would that I had. I repeat, I did not impregnate her. That's for the record.
Presumably she confided in you and told you who the father was?
No, what makes you think that?
I simply ask.
No, she never told me anything. She was a proud little beggar. I liked her for that.
Mr. Vouludis, he was more than just a charmer, wasn't he?
I don't follow you.
Well, among your many business interests, did you ever make any investments in Greek or Cypriot firms?
What? Have to ask my broker, oh boy.
Well, we have. They said no.
I shall have a word with my brokers, damn it all. Their services are meant to be confidential.
Yours was to Vouludis?
I think you're letting your imagination run away with you, Superintendent.
I think we should talk about this later. Either at Chatfleet Police Station or at your house, whichever you prefer.
Your favourite copper seems to be... That was quick. So Adam Dalgleish has made an impression.
You know him?
Of him? I'm surprised you don't. He publishes poetry from time to time. Not too bad, I'm told.
That's Adam Dalgleish.
Now the penny drops.
He's very good.
Yes, well, he's gone now, so you can concentrate on me, can't you? Have you reached a decision?
You did say you'd give me the weekend.
I know. Naturally, I hoped you wouldn't need so long.
Felix.
No, take your time. Don't rush. At least you haven't said no. Yet.
There hasn't been much time to think.
No, of course not. Right, well, this coat. Why don't I take it over to Dr. Epps? You did reserve it for him, didn't you?
Yes, fine, take it. Oh, I'd better check the pocket. Oh.
What?
I would have thought Sir Reynold was the last person to suffer from insomnia, wouldn't you? These are the same tablets Charles prescribed for Daddy.
The one Sally Jupp found?
Yes, that's right, I told you, didn't I?
Yes, and how you and Stephen quarrelled.
We still haven't really made it up.
I gather. All clear with the coat?
Yeah, fine, take it.
Right. Sure.
Bye.
Right, thanks. I'll be along later. Got you in at the old bakery, the Websters. Run quite a decent hotel. He's a Swiss-trained chef, would you believe, in Chatfleet.
No surprises in this PM? Liddell died from an overdose.
Who takes over at St. Mary's, sir?
Miss Spollard, her assistant, for the time being, at least.
What's Liddell's financial position? Anything there?
But her account shows a regular pattern of cash withdrawals and deposits. No additional deposits in the past year.
So if she was taking money from St. Mary's, it never found its way into her account.
That's right.
Do you think anybody else could have taken the money? I mean, to set her up, get her fired?
Possible, but doubt it. With Sir Reynold Price keeping an eye on the place, it would be fairly difficult, I should imagine.
Sir Reynold Price? What do you know about it?
His wife was a good soul. Very quiet. Mark Gibbs should have to be. He never let her get a word in. She was the one who was keenest on the charities. St. Mary's was her idea. Then he took it over, and she never got a look in after that. Sort of woman who dies, you might imagine, to oblige her husband when it's convenient for him.
Do I get the impression you're not too fond of him?
I dislike him. He dislikes me. Can't answer for the rest of Chadley.
This is the stage where I always feel like the master criminal. Have we done better than last year, do you think?
I don't know about the total yet, but the raffle's raised 246 quid so far.
Well, that's very good, Felix.
Well, look who you had rattling the tin.
Oh, impossible. I don't know how you put up with it.
I blame the army.
This is worse than adding up at bridge.
Oh, let me have it. I've got the calculator.
Oh, please. When it comes to figures. Not quite myself today. Been rather troubled about poor Alice Liddell. You see, she'd already ordered a burial plot in the churchyard, but now if it turns out to be suicide, well, it could make things difficult.
I thought the church forgave everybody everything these days.
Not our bishop, I'm afraid. He's against suicide, especially.
You'd prefer Miss Liddell to have been murdered?
From a burial in consecrated ground point of view, yes, and I fear so.
Do you have to do what he says?
If I were you, I'd defy my bishop.
One is tempted.
Well, you never know. New evidence may turn up. May turn out to be murder after all.
Shh, child. Your mother won't be long. I don't know why I say that. She pays herself to get. Oh, I'm not to call her that, you know. Mam's already told me that's not allowed. She ain't a servant. Oh, no. She's a modern miss, that's what she is.
I can't say I'm exactly mad about Sally either, Martha. But you really have got it in for her.
Too blessed full of herself, that's why. Think we owe her a living. You better watch out, Miss Catherine. I know a scheming hussy when I see one. Help him clear up in the garden, my eye. I'm right, aren't I? Howsomever, I ain't wrong.
Both Stephen and I are grown up now, Martha. We'll cope. Don't worry.
I ain't worrying. I'm telling you.
You're happy?
Why'd you ask?
Because I am. And I want to know that you are too. It's reasonable, isn't it?
Oh, I am.
It still leaves me the anxious one.
Anxious? What about?
I'm crazy about you. But I hardly know you, do I? Kiss me.
No. You make the move. Always.
You're an old-fashioned girl.
I think you're going to find I'm not.
You're amazing.
You're just easily surprised.
But you just said that.
Oh, I'll say anything if it suits.
Honestly.
Honestly.
Most successful fate, I'd say. Felix Hurst did a good job flogging raffle tickets. Must have saved the church roof single-handed.
Yeah, I like Hurst. He's a splendid fellow.
Agreed. But the real bonus for me is your perking up, Simon. A great improvement. Something to ask you, old friend. That little cache of sleeping pills you organized for yourself? Exit kit? Don't go along with that, old son. No, sorry.
Didn't expect you would. It was my decision. Then.
But what?
One of life's little hours. By the time I'd collected enough, I hadn't the strength to take them.
You would have now.
But I haven't got them now, have I? That damn girl took them.
Just as well.
Dinner's ready, Charles.
Ah, right. Thanks.
Well, at this rate, you'll soon be having Simon downstairs with you again.
There, darling, Didn't I say?
I shouldn't count on it.
Need anything?
No. You go and eat. Just to see the sun through the window's enough for me.
I don't think we should be too hopeful, Eleanor.
Oh, but I want to be hopeful when I see him like that.
Well, Simon's age, you can't expect.
Miracles. But people do recover from strokes.
Yes, well, you know me, I'm a realist.
I should have thought that was Sally's job.
So does Martha. I don't mind, honestly. We all lend a hand nowadays, don't we?
Where is Sally, anyway?
Now, Charles, will you sit there?
Yes.
I thought we were going to be 7 for dinner.
Aren't we?
Ah, seems not. 8.
It's all right, Mummy. It's my idea. Sally was against, but I insisted.
You've invited Sally to dinner.
That's right. Any objections?
Yes, some. You're supposed to be helping in the house. In fact, you're supposed to be helping Martha now.
When your son has just asked me to marry him, Mrs. Maxey.
Excuse me. You can be 7 after all, Eleanor.
I expected you before this. Do you work all the hours God sends?
When he doesn't send enough, yes.
Well, I warned you. I'm well dined and well wined. Now, this is an informal interview. Understood? Okay? Sit down, sit down. After all, it is Saturday night. Now, what about you? Would you whiskey, brandy? Why not?
No, thank you.
Oh, come on, ease up, Dalglish. Or hasn't he got a head for it?
Miss Ingrid Graham, your goddaughter.
Yes?
You sympathise with her politics?
Good Lord, no.
Really? Well, that's odd.
Odd, is it? Why?
Not so long ago, your name appeared in a report prepared by Detective Inspector Peter Elliott, who was murdered. Now it's appeared again. In records kept by Stavros Veloudis, linking you with your goddaughter, Miss Graham.
People can name you, doesn't mean that you're involved or guilty of anything. No.
I agree, so we checked. John?
On the 14th of last month, sir, Miss Ingrid Graham transferred a large sum of money, £225,000 to be precise, to a company bank account of which you are a director. 3 days later, this company telexed the same sum, expressed in dollars, to Athens.
Now, hold on. This is an unwanted invasion of privacy. There's no crime in receiving money or transferring it from one country to another. We have no exchange controls with the police.
Miss Graham's money came from a drug syndicate controlled by Stavros Veloudis.
I don't know anything about that.
You were merely being used?
Used? Me? Nonsense.
Well, you must have asked her where so much money came from.
Of course. She'd sold some family pictures, she said.
And you believed her?
Why not? She's an honest, decent girl. Though I do find her politics a bit over the top.
Sir Reynolds, the transfer of this dirty money must
I didn't know that. I believed Ingrid. I still do. When I got your word for it that the money came from drugs. Can you prove it?
I wouldn't be here if I couldn't.
I see. All right. Can't say I much care for the notion that Ingrid misinformed me. I acted in good faith, you know. She's a very persuasive girl. I happen to have banking contacts. funds there in Athens. Now, this is very important because...
Otherwise, the money disappears into too many middlemen's pockets.
There's nothing criminal in her sending funds to a political cause which she supported.
And you helped her?
Without, joining her political beliefs.
I'm not interested in her politics. Just your involvement with Veludis.
Ingrid's involvement with Veludis was personal. He was her friend for a time.
You mean her lover? Yes, we do know that. You see, by transferring that money, you effectively laundered it for the drug syndicate.
I think I should warn you,
I do the cautioning, Sir Reynold.
You may find it different this time.
Looking for someone?
I thought I heard Deborah. Never mind, doesn't matter. I'm not taken in by you, you know. You don't really care about Stephen.
If you say so, of course you must be right.
Can't you see he'll get tired of you? Nothing ever lasts for him.
You would know.
Yes, I do know.
At least you're honest. Makes a change from the rest of them round here. Bunch of hypocrites.
You don't really know them at all.
Do you think they're all that keen on you for Stephen? Never mind. What a day. That bloody dinner.
I haven't treated you so badly.
You don't know. You can't even see how they treat you. You let them use you. Stephen's told me all about it.
I'm not interested in hearing what Stephen said about me. What do you want from him? I mean, the Maxes aren't rich, you know.
Who cares? You think I want all this? Stephen doesn't. He's got too much sense. Anyway, we'd live in London.
Why did you come here? You could have had Jimmy in London. There are hostels. Where's Jimmy's father? You're running away from something, aren't you?
What the hell's it got to do with you?
There's something you haven't told us. Something you're trying to keep secret. Well, I'll find out what it is. And when I do...
Are you threatening me?
Take it how you like.
I think you're trying to tell me the answer's no.
I'm afraid it has to be, Felix. I'm sorry.
Hope it has nothing to do with Stephen and Sally.
Why should it?
You're not exactly overjoyed at the news.
Not exactly.
Not a suitable bride for the Maxi heir.
Oh, my objections to Sally are personal. I like people to be straight.
I know. That's what I was counting on. Never mind. It looks as if there's been one proposal too many this weekend. My apologies.
Why should you apologize? Friends?
Friends. Yes. Of course.
I can't believe Stephen loves Sally.
Can't you? People have an endless capacity for fooling themselves.
Oh, Felix, I am sorry. I did so want to say yes.
I know you did.
And of course, in them days, your grandfather had 10 hunters in the yard. We were only 4 stable lads. We were up at 4:30 in the morning, feeding and mucking out. We had a stud groom what wore a white glove. He'd come into the stable, run his hand down every horse there, and woe betide the lad whose horse left a mark on that there glove. Then we had to wash the tack, You had to be able to see your face and the buckles on the head collars. And never a straw out of place.
Oh, no, Sam. No more. No, I've got to be getting back. And thanks for the advice you gave me, Sam.
Ain't nothing. But a child by another man, well, maybe I'm old-fashioned.
Yes, I know.
Take a little time for the family to come round, but they will, I reckon.
I hope so. But we'll survive if they don't.
You don't mean that?
No. No, not really.
If you love the girl, they're bound to accept her. They want you to be happy.
It's not as simple as that, Sam. But never mind. I mustn't involve you. Well, I'll take that ladder back. I saw it outside.
No, do you leave that lad? I'll get young Derek Pullen to help me back with it to the stables tomorrow.
I can manage it. Good night, Sam.
Good night. Glad to hear your father's improving.
Thanks.
Sally? Sally, are you awake?
Who's that? What the hell do you think you're doing here? What's the idea?
I know what you're up to. Oh, yeah, don't think I don't.
Are you planning a break-in? Is that it? I wouldn't put it past you.
You better leave Sally alone. She's a nice girl. Who do you think you are?
Sally? What's Miss Jupp to you?
Do you keep away from her?
Is that a threat?
Yes.
Maybe I should call the police. I could tell them I caught you about a break-in.
You call them then, why don't you?
How long have you been here?
A minute.
What were you waiting for?
That's private between me and Sally.
Now, listen, you little creep. For your information, Sally and I are going to get married. So anything that concerns her concerns me.
You can't marry her!
What the hell are you talking about?
She despises you, you know!
Did she tell you that? Did she?
I thought you'd gone to bed. Where have you been?
Oh, never mind.
But I do mind. Not content with exploding your little bombshell at dinner, you then disappear for the rest of the evening without making any attempt to stay with Mummy and talk it out with her.
I promised to go over and have a drink with Sam. He's an old man. I couldn't just not appear.
You amaze me. You know what a state Mummy's in anyway. How can you ever justify what you've done this evening?
I don't have to justify myself to you, thank God.
No, not to me. To Mummy. Surely she comes before anyone else. But you could have gone to see Sam tomorrow. He wouldn't have minded.
Huh? That's your opinion?
And Sally?
What do you mean, and Sally?
Where's she been all evening?
Well, in her room, presumably. She does have a baby, remember?
Sounds a fine start to a relationship.
Our relationship is our own affair, and only ours. My God. That scene at dinner made it perfectly clear that none of you like her. That you'd never accept her. You all gave her a bloody awful time, and I'm not having her treated like that.
Gave her a bad time. You're joking. How do you think your good news hit us? Do you honestly think that was the ideal way to announce any engagement, never mind one that was bound to create problems? You didn't begin to think of Mummy, did you? The embarrassment she was bound to suffer in front of Charles and Mr. Hinks and Felix, not to mention your ex-girlfriend.
Why embarrassment? Why should Mummy feel embarrassed? You're just a bunch of snobs clinging to something that simply doesn't matter any longer. I'm more in touch with reality than any of you. Spend one day with... No, listen to this. This is important. Spend one day with me on the wards of my hospital, and you'd know what I'm talking about.
You really are extraordinary. You know, until you left medical school, you'd led a completely sheltered life.
Here we go.
You were pampered and utterly spoilt. And now, because you spent a couple of years running around the wards of a hospital, you think you're the only one in touch with reality.
I don't have to listen to this.
Well, let me tell you. Mummy has more knowledge of the world, more warmth, more compassion, more common sense in her little finger than you'll ever have. How dare you place her in such a position?
Now, what do you expect me to do? Ask her permission to marry Sally? Or even yours? Perhaps I should have asked you as well. My first loyalties are to Sally now.
Stephen, for God's sake, you've only known her for a couple of weeks. It's a stupid infatuation, a ridiculous obsession. How can it be anything else? But you don't know the first damn thing about her, do you? Do you?
No, not a great deal. And no, this hasn't been a 5-year engagement. But then you and Edward were always convinced you had all the time in the world, weren't you?
Stephen! I just want you to know that whatever happens, I'm on your side.
But you just said... What on earth are you talking about? What do you mean, whatever happens?
Just that. Whatever happens, I'm on your side.